Hello everyone, welcome back. So today we're going to be playing Nautilus and we'll be facing off against the Teemo adventure from the Spirit Blossom campaign. I only have to beat this adventure with two Spirit Blossoms champions. I'm still on the fence about who to choose because of how hard it is to get stars on Spirit Blossom champions because of the currency issues. So in the meantime, while I don't figure something out, I'm just going to do Nautilus instead. I figured Nautilus will be decent here. The opponent's power shuffles puffcaps into our deck, but if our deck is massive, like Nautilus powers incentivize us to build towards, then we reduce the chances of drawing a bunch of puffcaps. So we're going to be taking the setup I normally take on Nautilus. Starforge Gauntlets gives us 1 extra mana crystal, which is very good for us because it allows us to get to Nautilus and our more expensive units faster. And then we just have stack decks. So we have a reward towards, or an additional reward for building a very big deck. And the Heart of Gold helps us get to that point a lot easier because of the extra gold. Lethality, Rush Them Down, Chilling Prophecy. None of these are that appealing for Nautilus, so let's reroll once. Spellslinger, Treacherous Terrain, Unnatural Evolution. Treacherous Terrain slows down the opponent a little bit. Spellslinger makes it so picking up spells is less of a detriment in a deck that normally wants to get mostly units. Let's pick up the Treacherous Terrain, try and slow the opponent down. We have a slow game planned, though if we can make the games last a bit longer, maybe that's the difference between reaching deep and not reaching deep. That's a lot of Nautilus. Let's toss them all back. It's preferable to have the Nautilus in our deck, at least for the beginning of the game. Of course we're drawing one here. That's to be expected. But if I could avoid drawing it in the opening hand, that would be nice. I think here is just Lure of the Depths, Grumble Slug. Nothing too fancy, but it allows us to hit deep immediately. And we can go for this attack. If we draw a single puff cap, it's not the end of the world, because of our Nexus having tough. Okay. That Grumble Slug's massive. That one too. Ardent Sensor, really? I guess this is a perfect copy of this Grumble Slug. So both of them got hit with the Ardent Sensor. Let's Devour of the Depths, deal opponent's largest unit. Then we wait for him to place something. Let's heavy metal that thing down, just to ensure that the opponent has as little blockers as possible for my upcoming attack next turn. That's fine, we don't take damage from single puff caps anyway. We're tossing a lot. How close are we to decking out? A bit. Do I want to Lure of the Depths? Let's play the Grumble Slug and then attack. The opponent, yeah. He obviously summons something here. Unfortunately, he summons something that's worth 2 units. So he gets to delay the game a bit more because of that. I think the correct play is to just not play anything here. Let's try and minimize the chances of drawing a puff cap. Except the opponent's shuffling more and more puff caps into our deck. So I think what we do here is just play Nautilus, go for a Devour of the Depths after going for the Lure of the Depths, and we try to remove as many of the opponent's blockers as possible. Hopefully he attacks here too. Okay. We'll block this one, and this one. And I'm going to summon the Devour of the Depths, targeting the Avenging Vastaya. It's a bit of a waste because of the spell shield, but it gives us an additional unit on the board to attack next turn. Yeah, the amount of puff caps is getting very dangerous. We need to close out the game here. Otherwise we will actually run the serious risk of dying on the first encounter. So it turns out that first encounter was a bit more risky than I anticipated, because we're not just dealing with the puff caps that were shuffled initially into our deck, we're also dealing with additional puff caps being shuffled every turn. Let's pick up the Wild Mysticism. Ramp and card draw on a single card is good for this deck. Action Rumble Teemo. We can do better than all of these. Maokai is synergistic with our game plan, so sure, no reason not to pick it up. We want to aid the spirit. Created cards cost 10 for a sapling. It's just not worth it. They could have done a better job convincing us to pick up the first Spirit's Aid. Collect your bounty, deep cuts, bouncing blades. We don't really do nexus damage to proc the collect your bounty easily, but the other options are not that much better. Do I care to spend a reroll here? Sure, let's see more options. Epic Escapades, Flexible Game Plan, Explosive Entrance. Unironically, Flexible Game Plan might be one of the better choices for this deck, because it translates to two additional tosses. Epic Escapades, it would work on the Devour of the Depths and the Wild Mysticism actually. And that's about it, because all of these are common. Getting down the Wild Mysticism earlier might be worth it. I'm going to pick up the Epic Escapades. Then here, let's go for the Explosive Encounter gives us a better ward, but it's a lot more dangerous. Am I filling up to the challenge? Yeah, sure. We have full health bar, and our Nexus is tough, so it takes a bit less damage from the opponent's damaging effects. Let's try to mulligan so we can keep a low curve, try to fill up our board early. Like this, we can go 1-2, or we can go for a 4 right off the bat as well. That's decent. Let's go for a 1-2. Try to get as many units on board as possible. Next turn I'm going to salvage right away. Or maybe not. The opponent's attacking with everything. I suppose I can trade everything in. Then we'd go Maokai salvage. The opponent gets or it makes it so we have more board space this way. But as long as they don't play a landmark, we should be fine. Okay, so we've hit deep. We're going to take a bunch of damage.
It's gonna blow the darn roof off.
5. Next turn we take an additional 1 because of this thing, or additional 10 because of that thing. 8. We run the serious risk of decking ourselves out. Maokai's effect is already procced, so doesn't matter what I play here. Another Maokai. I severely need the opponent to... Or I severely need the opponent to kill my Maokai. Otherwise I might end up backing out. That's not good. I don't want to draw. Does this mean I release a Maokai for the opponent? That's a maybe. Well, at least my board is full, so I don't have to worry about the opponent summoning more landmarks for me. That's a way to get rid of the Maokai, I suppose. I just have to ensure I don't play another Maokai. I'm just going for Nautilus this turn anyway. Shuffle a bunch of tossed units back into my deck. Yeah, we got a little bit of a buffer because of that. I suppose we can do this just to accelerate the Devour of the Depth or the landmark. Let's try to get a unit that's more buff than that thing. There is not really such a unit. Can attack with all of these and shuffle that back into the deck. I think it's fine. Specifically because the opponent can't easily play it back. And now we can go for the Wild Mysticism. We're dying. And that's not good at all. But hopefully this draws an additional Nautilus, yeah. And now we have no more puffcaps, our board is full. We can afford to keep the wings giving around. And now we'll just replay units over our own units. And we should be fine. Okay, that's not good. Another wings giving. Significantly reduces the amount of space we have on board. But as long as the opponent doesn't play too many threats here, we should be able to close out the game with just Nautilus and the Devour of the Depths by shuffling whatever he summons back into his deck. with both the Riptides. And now, unless the opponent has a fast or burst speed answer to this attack, we're alright. Okay, that was way too close. Let's hope all that effort we went through is worth it. Killbreaker, Spirit Leech. Spirit Leech is decent. It draws 2. And it's a sea monster. Let's go for the sightseeing. These are definitely not worth it. Do I care to use a reroll here? Not really. Let's just leave. Yeah, let's just leave. All that effort we went through was for nothing. Let's hope that doesn't cost us the run. We're already in a delicate spot as is, with our low health total. I went ahead and chose the dancers because we don't really do a lot of targeting of the opponent's units, so we should be fine. That... okay. I was about to say that frostbite didn't work, but it appears I was mistaken. Let's just start ramping. That's fine-ish. I could use some removal on the opponent's units. Let's block there. That's Thorny Toad. Next turn will be up to 6 mana. If I keep the Thorny Toad alive. I'm going to take a bunch of damage here. Well, at least I got a blocker. Or an additional blocker. Can go heavy metal on the elusive. Alright. Swapping targets. I forgot that was the gimmick of this encounter. At least the opponent's not going to level up Teemo just yet. Kind of unfortunate that the opponent got specifically the champion that synergizes with puffcaps off of the random champion. Do I want to draw? I'm going to draw twice, drop down the Spirit Leech, I think. Kill the Thorny Toad because it gives me health. Or I can just devour off the depths that Teemo. That can work. No, it won't exactly work because the Teemo will just swap places with one of the opponent's units. Might as well do this. Try to threaten the opponent by having a big board, so he has to block stuff.
You missed a step.
Okay. That's most of his board gone. How threatening can he make a... how threatening of a board can he make with 5 mana? Well, a bit more now. Do I want to try and draw into an answer to that 7 attack unit? Nah, it's not worth it, I think. Apparently it was worth it, because I just drew it. A bit too late for that now. I can just Nautilus. Go for Devour of the Depths. Over... honestly, it's not worth it to go devour out the depths on any of the opponents. And so I guess I can do this. It's the Green Blade duo, I suppose.
Crabby.
That's my resting face.
Do I feel like gambling on those two swapping? Sure. And I got lucky. Gambling does pay off, apparently. Now let's go ahead and attack with everything. Hopefully it blocks the overwhelmers. Okay, I was about to say hopefully it blocks the overwhelmers so I can riptide the opponent's blockers away. But it appears it wasn't necessary because I had more than enough damage on board. Well, at the very least, the good part about Nautilus is that I don't have to use the healer encounters to cut cards. I can just use them to go ahead and heal myself. A necessity after taking that much damage. Pick a card. Pick a card is worth it, right? It draws 2 additional cards, gets us closer to deep. We heal 16. 16 is definitely not enough to put us to full health. 322 fully heal myself. Yeah, I'll do it. Let's go into the next encounter with full health. Sorrow Eater or Fox Spirit. We don't do a lot of spell casting, so sure. Let's go for the Fox Spirit.
Shall we go together then? Shall we go together then?
What are we hoping for here? Well, I suppose that's a decent enough starting hand. We can go for the high rate gun. Hopefully hit the Fox Spirit. Start pulling her. And we hopefully remove her in 2 turns.
Success.
Let's set
Get to
up
notice
the
around
pirate
here.
gun. Let's go drag treasures. Work towards our deep.
Time to make some coin.
We pull here. Deal 5. That also sets up the Fox Spirit to die to a heavy metal, exactly. In fact, that's what I'm doing right away. Sure, the opponent gets a Fox Spirit off of that. But it should be fine. I can Spirit Leech something here. But I'd rather do this. Mitigate the amount of damage I take, then Spirit Leech. Let's get closer to deep, shall we? Unfortunate, that would have helped.
Son of a...
Get closer to deep and ramped us up to a higher mana value. That would have been nice. I don't really care much for attacking, but I'll do it like this. Get both of the units in. As long as the it isn't the Foxfire dealing damage, then the Spirit Blossom Ahri won't level up. So I can go ahead and do my spell casting this turn. Try and work towards a level up. Or hitting deep, I mean. It's fine. We've hit deep because of that. Unfortunate part is the opponent's getting a lot of elusives here.
For now.
The fortunate part is that it doesn't really matter. Because I can go the bar of the depths there, immediately remove the scariest unit. Sure, the opponent gets a Foxfire because the opponent's power is not properly worded. It's not just spells, it's skills too apparently. But it's alright. He doesn't even care to attack for some reason. Not that I mind. Do I want to play Nautilus? Not really. I can just do this and start swinging.
Don't stand in my way.
Let's see if the opponent has enough blockers to survive. He does actually. Well, I guess this game is going to go for a couple more turns.
What would you wish to learn?
He can attack me next turn with those two elusives. But by that point it doesn't matter even if he gets a little bit of chip damage in. Because I've already won the game next turn.
2 steps into moonlight.
Too slow. Ooh, got some fight in ya.
11 damage. Shouldn't be a problem if I wasn't this close or extremely close to killing your opponent. In fact, I'm going to secure my victory by dropping down Nautilus and a beast below. And I'm going to heavy metal and riptide one of your some of your units. Let's do that there. We riptide the Ahri back into the deck. And now you only have 3 blockers. And I have a full board of extremely scary units. A desperate struggle, or a desperate last struggle from the opponent. Yeah, and it proves fruitless because we won. Now, time to see if we can actually get a decent power off of the second Spirit Shade. Dragon Tooth, Iceborne Gauntlet. Well, let's pick up Iceborne Gauntlet on Nautilus. Makes it so he becomes a form of removal when need enters the board. Hold it, Mystic Meditation, Noxian Might. You know what, let's pick up the Hold It. Helps us stall out the game a little bit more. Frozen in Fear, Forget the Jinx. Unfortunately, most of my spells don't deal damage, so that's completely useless. Let's see if we can get something better. Undying Legion. I think that's worth it. Especially because in the beginning stages of the game we don't really play more than 3 cards a turn. So sure. Now I can either go for bottom path or top path. I think the top path is too aggressive for us to deal with. The bottom path is a bit better, because this encounter doesn't really do much unless you challenge one of his units, and the encounter after this one relies on the opponent taking damage on his nexus in order to get the chimes. And the answer to that is we'll just attack only when we hit deep, so he doesn't really get the opportunity to benefit off of the chimes. Or at least that's my plan. Immediately vulnerable. Alright, it's from the opponent's power. Let's go Drag Dredger, Stormy Toad. Work on hitting deep. Maybe bait the opponent into blocking one of these.
It's too late for you.
He does. Okay. Let's fine. Captures one of my units. Bit unfortunate, but I'll manage. I think this is a decent enough game to play the Maokai. Unfortunately, the opponent's picking my hand clean with those skips. And he got a show off of the Nightmare. That's unfortunate for me. Can actually go heavy metal. Recover one of my cards. And then we drop down Nautilus. Remove one of the A-shows. Unfortunately, it was the one that was stunned. That's redundant. Let's attack with this one and this one. The biggest issue is definitely the elusive. Fortunately, we hit deep. And the opponent's extremely close to hitting, or the Maokai is extremely close to leveling up. And that's an issue for the opponent as well. Okay, he rallies. He's drawing a bunch of cards. I take 18. I would like it if the Nautilus captured that one, but it's going to capture the one that has no damage on it, most likely. Yep, figured as much. I have nothing that deals with the elusives, so I guess we'll just do this. No attacks from the opponent, really? I thought he had rallied. Maybe I was mistaken? Anyway, I'll take it.
It's too late for you.
That clears out the opponent's board. Never mind, he goes ahead and manages to keep the Empyrean alive. Definitely annoying, because that's the biggest threat on board. Let's see if we can hit a piece of removal. Well, there goes the opponent's deck. And much of my deck too. Well, that's a way to deal with the Empyrean, I suppose. It would have been nicer to deal with him faster, but I'll take it. Just so I don't have to take the damage off of that thing for another turn. Well, I still have Nautilus on the Nautilus in my deck, so I should be able to stall out the opponent with Riptides and whatnot, if necessary, in order to avoid decking out.
It's good to be the king.
Are you going to attack?
Big plans for this place.
I sure hope not. It doesn't. Well then, let's attack with everything, shall we? See what the opponent does. Really? A single block on the Power of the Depth specifically. Why? I don't understand the opponent. Anyway, we won. That's what's really important. Etherfin, you've been warned, treasure trove. I guess we're picking up more Etherfiend, even though I haven't played him a single time this entire run. This helps us keep a stickier board. Do I want a gold chest? We already have a lot of gold saved up. So I suppose we're going for the spells chest instead. Pick a card, Power Reef, Mage and the Book on the Eye of Nagake Boros. Yeah, let's go for even more cost reduction on the pick a card. When the foe survives Nexus damage, I shuffle that man or 4 times the amount of damage as chimes into his deck or something along those lines. So we just have to play to get deep, keep the opponent's board under control, and then we ended the game with a big swing turn. Can also play the Maokai early, try to go for Maokai's level up as a win con. Honestly, I think that's the play. That might be the play. Sure, let's go for it. No attacks, really? Well, I'm not attacking as well. Or no plays really. That should have been what I said. Well, that's not a lot of chimes in the opponent's deck. So we're fine on that front for now. Let's double Thorny Toad. Ear of the Depths, perhaps. Yeah, let's go for double Thorny Toad. We're getting extremely close to the threshold for deep. That's nice. We're going to be able to kill one of the opponent's units here. The unfortunate part is definitely the Mr. Thrift. It's allowing him to get more value off of the chimes than he should have. I was worried that Maokai was burning too many cards, but it appears we're fine on that front. Only 15 chimes in deck. Opponent hits 3 there. Honestly, it's fine. Maokai is very close to leveling up. It would actually be nice if the opponent attacked here. Just so I could go ahead and level up Maokai by trading in my units. But I suppose I can do this. Force my level up on Maokai by myself. By using the other fins as fuel. Can also do this. Heal myself a little bit. And then go ahead and level up Maokai in the process. Now I no longer need to keep the Thorny Toads around. So I'm just going to override one of them with the Rumble Slug. Yes, 3 cards left in deck. I can just wait it out. No need to do anything rash, right? Let's split the Nautilus. Give ourselves a little bit more of a buffer by shuffling more cards into our deck. Then I suppose I can attack into the opponent. If I really want to close out the game here. It's better than waiting around for a bunch of turns. Let's let him block. Okay, now he's playing cards. Ah, yes. Bursting backpacks. That changes things up a little bit. Now he's back to having a bunch of cards in deck. And a bunch of puffcaps too. I might have made a mistake. Yeah, that's a problem. I can kind of deal with that by doing this, but it's not pretty. I should have just waited for the opponent to overdraw himself. Well, if he doesn't play the bursting backpack theory, it just dies. Okay, I guess the opponent went ahead and blundered the victory I handed him. How nice of him. I should have just waited it out. If my units had overwhelmed, the attack was definitely the correct choice. But they didn't, so they just ended up being chump block, and the opponent just took 13 damage. Whatever. We can make one mistake or two along the way. Serrated Dark on the Drag Dredgers. Yeah, sure. It's a card that's already in my deck. It's fine. Now for a little bit of money spending. Definitely taking the early bird. Let's pick up a bunch of shark trainers, sure. Hunting fleet. Do we want to give the opponent units? No, not really. The All Hunters gives us sea monsters in hand. Do we care about that? Not really. Let's reroll. We have rerolls to spare. More expensive Thorny Toads, that's a nope. Ancient Yetis, yeah, that's a good card. These Scarabs too, especially because we have Maokai. Can we go up to 60? Maybe we can go up to 60. Starlit Seer. But it's a sea monster, so sure. And now we're up to 60. It would have been nice to get up to 66, because that's the threshold for the stacked deck. But I don't think we have money for it. Yeah, we don't have money for it. It's fine. We'll just go with 60 cards in deck. As long as the opponent doesn't hit an incredible first turn, we should be alright. Our deck actually benefits from the longer game that we have to play here. Depending a little bit on what we get shuffled into our deck from the opponent's power. Okay, so 24 puffcaps, 11 flash bomb traps. A bunch of them are being burned, which is kind of lucky. Biggest concern is probably the nightmares.
Words of power linger
I didn't know the opponent had that card in deck. Interesting. Let's go see Scarab. I tend to go for the undergrowth on the opponent's unit. That. Tornitoad now rallies on that. Maybe I'll keep the Tornitoad around then, just so I can rally. And that's a lot of mana I currently have access to. Oh! Maokai's leveled up. That was quick. I guess we tossed a bunch of cards at the start of the game, so that contributed a lot towards Maokai's level up. Well, no reason not to play him.
I am the Force.
And now the opponent just does in 4 turns. Because as we saw from the Fiddlesticks run, the opponent decking out on the first fight just causes him to instantly lose and not trigger the second part of the fight. In that case, might as well just attack with everything, force the opponent to block, ensure that the opponent doesn't really have anything that can threaten us in the upcoming turns.
Everything's easier behind
That's
the
fine, we'll just jump block.
Preposterous.
We're a bit away from deep, but not much. The opponent's definitely on the clock. Turn of the Rose with 0 attack. It's not a threat. I don't know if card draw is what you want to play right now, opponent. But you do you. Anything else? Nothing. Figured as much. Let's trade this in. Force the opponent to draw now by resummoning the Lord Malat. Now the opponent loses at the start of the next turn, or by playing a second Lord Malat. I suppose he just wanted out of the game. The last encounter was surprisingly the easiest one. A bit backwards when it comes to this adventure. Normally the last encounter actually puts up a decent amount of a challenge. But then again, Nautilus isn't really the most orthodox champion, so he shouldn't have the most orthodox runs. But yeah, that will be it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye. Till then.